Hi everybody and welcome to Husky Talk. Today we are joined by John Toppa of the UConn baseball team. John, introduce yourself.
How's it going, guys? I'm John Toppa. I'm a senior outfielder for the UConn baseball team.
So first and foremost, being a senior and having been a captain over the last 2 years, what has that meant to you?
Yeah, it's been it's really meant a lot to me. I was really lucky early in my career to play under some really good captains, and just try to kind of do the same thing that they did for me, and just kind of lead the younger guys. Whether it's on the field, off the field, just any questions they have. There's a lot that kind of goes on behind the scenes that even friends and teammates might not see. So just trying to make it known to them that whatever questions they have, they can come to me, and chances are I've probably dealt with the same thing. So I just try to help them out as best I can.
Now, what does a day in the life of John Toppa look like?
I try to keep it pretty consistent. Wake up, definitely get some coffee before class, one of about 2 or 3 cups. Head to class, try to get here a little bit early before practice and just get some swings in, or just get some extra stuff in, and then practice, and then get some food with some of the guys, and then I try to kind of decompress for a little bit and hang out, and then whatever schoolwork I have to do, and then at the end of the day, I just kind of like to decompress again and watch some hoops or some baseball and just kind of hang out.
You're hitting .329 this year, which is a testament to the work you do outside of games. So what does your preparation in the off-season look like and in between games, especially playing in the Northeast where you can't get outside 6, 7, 8 months of the year?
Yeah, definitely pretty used to hitting inside and seeing those white nets. But no, this off-season was a little different, just with some changes I made, and besides for Christmas and I think a couple other days, I pretty much hit and worked out every day. Just kind of this being my last year here, just a little extra motivation to I don't want to look back and say, oh, I should have worked on this a little more, I should have worked on that. So I was at it pretty much every day. Just I worked a lot on velocity training rather than going in and hitting off the tee and hitting soft toss, because I kind of felt like everybody could do that, and if you're playing at this level, you can pretty much go into a cage and do those kind of things and be successful every time. So I definitely tried to challenge myself a little more, just to make it as as game-like as possible. So when I do get into those game situations, I'm a little more used to them.
Right, and you guys have been on the road a lot. How different is it seeing different batters' eyes, playing in different stadiums, different sight lines everywhere you go? What is that like? How do you prepare for that?
Yeah, that's one thing you kind of can't prepare for, but our coaching staff and our team as a whole just tries to embody, kind of a resilient mindset, and those things only really affect you and get to your play if you let them. You can be, having long travel days, but once we get on that field, Thursday night for practice and Friday night for games, the game just kind of takes over. And if you're playing against the teams we're playing against, and you're on the field thinking about, oh, the batter's eyes messing me up, the lights are messing up, it's hard enough as it is. You're not going to have too much success. So once we get on the field, whether it's JOC or Coastal Carolina, you just kind of gotta play the game.
Last weekend when you guys went down to St. Lucie State, you had the opportunity to meet with former UConn Husky George Springer. What was that like?
That was honestly probably one of the coolest things I've ever done, baseball wise or not. Just even we got there a little early and we were hanging out in kind of the hallway where the players funnel into, and we saw a bunch of the Indians players, Jose Ramirez and Alex Bregman. We got to talk to him a little bit, and just seeing those guys, kind of giants of our game today was definitely pretty cool. And then George was unbelievable, taking a lot of time out of his, I'm sure, packed schedule, and just being really responsive. I think the whole team kind of felt like they could just walk up to him and really ask him anything, and just for him to do that and kind of put himself back in our shoes when he's far from in our shoes was really cool. And I think it helped us a lot, and the advice he had given us will continue to kind of help us out. So it was a blast.
Now, in one sentence, when you put on the UConn uniform, what do you want people to think of you and of UConn baseball?
That's a good one. I would probably say tough. You hear guys from our team say it a lot, but it's obviously me and a lot of other guys are used to it, but it's definitely tough to play in the Northeast. And I know me personally, I get a lot of satisfaction when we, especially early in the season when we go down and play some of the blue blood Southern teams, and just playing them competitively and showing that we can hang with them and most of the time beat them is it's one of my favorite things to do. So just kind of throwing out the circumstances, no matter who you're playing or where you're playing, just playing as hard as you can. You're only on the field for about 3 hours a day, so you should be able to kind of give it everything you got.
All right, now we're going to go into a quick few rapid-fire questions. So first and foremost, favorite professional player?
Mike Trout.
Favorite spot on campus?
The Beanery, right next to the Benson Museum.
Is that a favorite coffee spot?
That's a daily destination for me. Yeah.
Best baseball memory?
Probably say catching the last out of the American Conference Championship my freshman year. That was pretty cool.
Best atmosphere you've ever played in?
Best atmosphere. I would say East Carolina. They have a little pack out in the field they call the Jungle, and I don't know what jobs they're working, but they're always out there. 1 p.m. on a Friday afternoon. They're there sometimes before we get there. So, they get on you during the game, but usually later in the game or in the ninth inning, or hopefully by the end of the weekend, they usually lighten up. But they get on you pretty good. Yeah.
And last thing, one message you could share to the world, to future baseball players that are looking up to you.
I would just say never sell yourself short. That there are plenty of guys who play at the highest level that there are a lot that kind of knew they would be there, and I've played with a lot of kids that from the day they step on campus they're kind of that they're really highly touted, but there are a lot of guys who weren't like that, and just never sell yourself short. You never know what can click for you. You never know the progressions you're going to make, so just play as hard as you can and work as hard as you can, and also have as much fun as you can. That would probably be another one. It's tough to remind yourself sometimes, but it is just a game, and when you're on that field, you gotta have as much fun as you can. So those are probably the big two things.
Well, thank you to John Toppa of UConn Baseball. This was Husky Talk with UCTV Sports.